I married a man everyone called a good man. The kind of man mother pray for their daughters. Sunday was gentle. At least that was what I believed. Before marriage, it was everything I thought I'd be waiting for. He never shouted, never insulted me, never raised his voice even when we argued. It would calm me down instead. It would say, I will never be like those men who hurt women, and I believed him. My friends used to joke that I had found a real one. Even my family approved of him without hesitation. He was soft spoken, caring, always attentive. He opened doors for me, checked on me constantly, and made me feel safe in a way I had never experienced before. I thought I'd won in love, so I married him. The first few weeks of marriage felt like a dream. He still acted like that perfect man, but then things started changing. At first, I didn't notice. It would get quiet in a way that felt heavy, then controlling, then easily irritated. And I kept telling myself, marriage is just adjustment. Until the first night, it truly showed me who he was. It didn't happen in public. It didn't happen before marriage. It happened inside the place I was supposed to call my home. He slapped me. I was confused, my chest tightened, my eyes was blurry, and then I felt a arm around me, hugging me softly and whispering into my ears, I love you. I couldn't even move, but I stayed because I thought it would be a one-time mistake. But after that night, everything changed slowly. Like poison you don't taste at first. He started monitoring how I dressed, started asking who I spoke to, started checking my phone when I was asleep, and every time I tried to complain, it would go back to being that man I married. Soft voice, gentle hand, baby, you know I love you, you're just stressing me. And I would doubt myself, maybe I was overreacting, maybe marriage is just hard like this, maybe I needed to be more patient. But deep down, I started shrinking. I stopped visiting friends, I stopped laughing freely, I stopped feeling like myself. It still acted normal when visitors were around. If anyone saw us from outside, they would still call him a good man. Until the night everything broke. It started with nothing serious, just a misunderstanding. A message on my phone from a male colleague asking about work. I didn't even reply in a strange way or flirty way, but that was enough. The silence in the room changed immediately. It's just work, I said softly. He didn't answer. He stood up slowly, and I already knew what was coming. Not because he said anything, but because I had started recognizing the warning signs so well. Why do men always have access to you? He asked. I tried to explain, but he wasn't listening anymore. The first hit came like disbelief, like my brain refused to accept it was real. Then another, then everything became noise. I remember falling, I remember trying to crawl away, I remember begging him to stop, but my voice didn't sound like mine. At some point, I stopped fighting and just called into myself, hoping it would end, and then it did. Not because he calmed down, but because something in him snapped back into awareness. He looked at me like he had just woken up from a nightmare, but I wasn't the one dreaming. I lay there, shaking, unable to understand how the same man who once promised me that he would protect me had become the one I needed protection from. That night, I didn't cry. I just realized something very clearly. This wasn't love anymore. This was survivor, and I had two choices: stay and disappear slowly, or leave and try to find myself again. So when he finally went into the room and the house went quiet, I stood up. My hands were shaking as I packed nothing but my phone and my life. And I walked out of that marriage. I thought I would die in. Not because I stopped loving him, but because I finally chose myself over the version of love that was destroying me. If you're watching this and calling it love while you're breaking inside, Please listen to me. It doesn't get better when it starts with violence. It only gets worse.